Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Proverbs 30 woman. Yes, that woman of valor, that virtuous woman, that P31 woman. I chose this topic tonight because I noticed a lot of our black women like to use that term. I'm a woman of valor, I'm a virtuous woman, Proverbs 31 woman, very loosely. And I say that because I've noticed who has been giving themselves that title. And not for nothing, I personally don't see them living up to that. I've seen a lot of women who just live crazy out there and still label themselves as a Proverbs 31 woman. So tonight, we're going to have a little discussion. And if you want to talk more, you want to email me, comment below, please feel free to do so. I would love the dialogue. But tonight I'm going to read those verses starting from verse 10. And I want to talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, what it takes to be a Proverbs 31 woman. How can someone else look at you and label you that without even knowing you, just by your attributes, just by your behavior? So I was doing a little research on that word virtuous. I also did a little experiment. I wouldn't say an experiment. A little research on that chapter, not the whole chapter, but starting from verse 10 to 31, I believe. And I'm gonna read some notes to you guys. So bear with me if you see me looking back and forth because I'm using my notes. I can't remember it all. But all right. So here goes. What makes a woman of God? Is it the way she dresses? Is she modest? What about the way she speaks? Does she speak words of truth, kindness, love, maybe encouragement? Or maybe it's her actions. Does she reach out to help others? Is she caring? Is she loving? Is she forgiving? Does she give to those in need? And when she does that, does she expect in return? A true woman of the Most High. What is going on? A true woman of the Most High is a worshiper of the Most High. And it shows through her words, yes, through her actions, through her behavior, and yes, most importantly, nowadays, the way she dresses. So, that is just some of the stuff that I wrote down about this woman. But thankfully, we have, I would say, an outline in the chapter of Proverbs 31 woman, of Proverbs 31 to help us understand what it takes to be a Proverbs 31 woman. All right? So I'm just going to read those verses very straight through. I'm going to read them and then I'm going to go over some of the verses and point out some of the characteristics that chapter does say that this virtuous woman does possess. All right, so here it goes. Where is it? Okay. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth forth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hand she planted a vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She laid her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretched out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow, for her household is clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself clothings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh the fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praise her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Most High shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Very, very descriptive. That's a lot in those verses. And it's just a lot that this whole chapter says about this virtuous woman. So we're going to go over and we're going to point out some of these adjectives that this chapter speaks about this virtuous woman. First and foremost, it says that she is valuable. Why she's valuable? It says that she is worth more than rubies. Those are very precious stones. Rubies and diamonds, very precious stones, and just as beautiful and rare. And this woman is being compared to a ruby. So that means she's very valuable, okay? The second adjective that pointed out to me, okay, where's the rest of my notes? Is that she's trustworthy and that her husband's put his trust in her. He doesn't feel that he has to keep an eye on her, put hidden cameras in the house, keep tabs on her, check her phone every so often. He trusts her. So she puts her husband heart at ease whenever she leaves the house, whenever she does things, because he trusts her. She is a valuable woman of the Most High. She's good. She's good to her husband. She's good to her children. She's good to strangers. Another adjective. Okay, I'm sorry, my computer's very slow. But that she's hardworking. This woman of value is not a slacker. She doesn't sit on behind all day watching. I don't even want to name these TV shows that these women love to watch all day. There's nothing wrong watching TV, but give time to take care of your children, your husband, your household, yourself. But this woman in the Proverbs 31, she's a hardworking woman, a woman of virtue. She is no slacker, okay? When she needs to work, she gets up and she works, she seeks it and she pursues it. She's very productive. She's also a provisional woman. She provides for her family, her children, even the maids and her maid service that she has in her house. She's a provider. So not only are men supposed to be the providers, but women also. We are providers. We provide care, nurture, food, raiment, clothes, everything to our family indoors. And she's a homemaker. She makes clothes. She makes food. She doesn't go out to fast foods every day or use frozen dinners. She uses her hands to work. She makes clothes. Again, there's nothing wrong with eating out. But every day, that says something about your workmanship as a woman. That says something about how you keep your home. I mean, if you eat out, you just eat out every single day. I don't know a man that wants to eat out every day. I don't know anybody. Maybe they're out there. I just don't know anybody like that. She also provides care and nurture for her children and her maids that she has. She's very loving. She wakes up in the nighttime before the sun rises. I'm sure she is tired, but she knows the importance of taking care of her family. Even if you have your own business, or if you work from home, this point can also apply to you, okay? It reminded me of my grandmother, of my mother, actually. She would always wake up in the middle of the night and make sure we have homemade bread, food. My mother, I don't even remember my mother buying food out. My mother always made things from scratch. And she didn't wake up after we woke up. She made sure she woke up before we woke up. So by the time we woke up and by the time my father woke up, we had everything ready for us. So that's another adjective that stuck out to me. Another one, and that is that she plans wisely. She's a planner. Nothing is impromptu. Nothing is spontaneous with how she carries herself. A virtuous woman is a planner, okay? She's considerate, she's conscientious and thoughtful, okay? She's self-controlled and is careful not to act on impulse. Because most of the time when us women, when we act on impulse, some of us, we tend to screw up things. So it's good that she's able to plan wisely and make sure she plans and write things down so that things aren't just falling into place. Also, she's very strong woman. For her to be able to get up in the middle of the night, make clothes from scratch, make food, she has to be physically strong. I can't see it any other way. Then I have also, she is content. The virtuous woman looks around at her possessions and is content. She's pleased at what she put her hands to do. And so is her husband and her children. They call her blessed and they're very content. There are no complaints. There's another one. She's very selfless because she is very mindful of the poor, and she is compassionate, and she is filled with empathy and love, and has a huge heart for the needy and for those that lacks. I'm sure she can see that with that caring motherly eye. She can see that she's definitely a reflection of the Most High's heart, whose eyes are always on the needy, always wanting to help the needy. And she sees the bigger picture. I say that I mean that she has intuition. For the verse to say that she considers a feel and buys it, she has that intuition that she knows what she's doing is the right thing to do. Okay, she's a visionary who works toward what the Most High has destined for her and her family, and she is not afraid to complete her task. She is not afraid nor doubtful of any challenges that she may have. Also, she is very creative. For her to be able to take a spindle and weave and make clothes and make food from scratch, that's a very creative woman. So some of these attributes are things that I see a lot of our young ladies now do not have. Okay. Another few things. She makes her husband look good. Okay. Her husband is not ashamed of her at all. Even when he sits among the elders, he is proud to say, that's my girl right there. That's my wife. Her character seems to have quite an influence on him in front of the community, in front of the elders, because her popularity is known by her behavior, by what she does in the house, and even outside, working outside. People see you, people watch you. So he is very proud to call her his wife. She's gifted to be able to weave and make clothes. Very, very gifted. Also, she's a generous entrepreneur who is serious and dedicated to her business, but also keeps the Most High first and keeping everyone else in eyes view as far as like the needy and her children and her husband. She makes sure that everyone is covered. Then you have that she is very optimistic. She has a very positive outlook on the future because the Most High is already there with her. She's very confident in the Most High. She is a believer. She has faith in Him, and she has no real fear to fear the unknown. Okay, but instead she looks at the mysteries of tomorrow with joy. So those are just a few things that I took from that chapter. Also, we can assume that she's a wise woman with wisdom. He is, meaning her husband, he is a visionary, and she helps him with his vision. So she's very wise. She's not a dunce. She doesn't just sit there and, like I said, watch TV all day and don't pick up a book, only pick up a book when he picks up a book. She doesn't hold back anything when it comes to trying to embody that Holy Spirit. Also, she edifies others. She is praised by her husband and her children. Her children don't complain about her cooking. Her children don't complain about, her motherly instincts in the house. She's rare. She's a unicorn. She's a gem. These type of attributes, we as Black women, Hebrew women, any woman of culture, we need to learn to take these adjectives and embody it and perfect it so that we can then say, I am a Proverbs 31 woman. Most importantly, she's God-fearing. She's God-fearing because she knows her position. She knows her place. If you look back in Genesis where these, I would say, curses were given out to Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Ours were, our curses were that we had to, I'm going to paraphrase that we had to, our desires were to be to our husband, and he shall rule over us. That word desire, it runs really deep. Once you understand and look at that word desire in Hebrew, I believe, I don't have my Hebrew dictionary with me, I left it at the building. It says teshukwa, I believe, means craving, longing, desire. You feel that urge to want to do whatever it takes to make your husband smile, to make him happy, to make him want to rush home, just to be in your circle, just to be in your area, just to eat up your energy. I for one, I love doing things for my husband. I love doing things for my husband. Something as small as tying his shoes, something as small as buckling his pants buckle, and looking him in his eyes and telling him he's gonna be a powerful man out when he leave out and stay strong. Certain things like that, it makes your husband very, very proudful, I would say, not prideful, but very, very proud to have you as his wife. And it's very important that you make him feel that way each and every time he leaves the house. I also, so those are just some of the things that stuck out to me when I read that chapter. And it's very important that we understand it, not just read it just to read it, and not just memorize it just to say, oh, I know that chapter by heart. But look at all of those adjectives. Look at the behavior of that Proverbs 31 woman and embody it. Try to perfect it so that you can say, I'm truly a Proverbs 31 woman. What I also did was I took that word virtuous, and I looked it up in Hebrew, and I realized that it said that the definition is kayil, eshe kayil. So I said, okay, let me look up the word kayil in Hebrew. I took the word kayil, and it has 3 consonants: ket, yod, lamed. All right, so let's take the first letter, ket. The ket is a fence. We all know when we build a fence of the house is to do what? To protect your house from outsiders, from intruders, from violators, from animals. It's just to protect your house. So there's one attribute that we must hold and possess, is to be protectors of the house. Not, I hate when I come in front of a camera, I get a brain fart, but not overprotective to whereas you just shun everybody that comes around, but have that eye to be able to see who is coming around your family, know who's coming around your family, and protect the house from outsiders with the evil spirit. So that's the first letter. Ket is a fence. Okay, so we have to be a fence to our family. We have to be that protector to our family. The second letter is a yod. And a yod, it is a hand, whether it's a closed hand or an open hand. And us women, we use our hands to be very crafty, to cook, to clean, to nurture, to care, to massage, to make clothes, to do things with our hands. We are known to do things with our hands. So last but not least, you have the lamed. The lamed is, and let me pull up my notes if I remember exactly what the lamed is. The lamed, I believe, is a staff. Okay, hold on. Hold on one second. It's a staff. And that's something that shepherds use to protect their flock. So it just shows you the type of characteristics that we are supposed to have, even when calling yourself an Eshet Kayel. You're supposed to be a protector, supposed to be able to use your hands, and supposed to protect your children and your husband. Be a protector, be a provider. So that is just some of what I came up with. I don't want to be too long and drawn out. I'm already almost at 20 minutes, but I really, really look at that chapter differently now. I've always read it, but I never really dissected it the way I did. And I did share it with my daughters, and they do understand it. And make sure you sit down and you talk to your daughters about that Proverbs 31 woman. Explain to them the different attributes that she is to possess. Explain to the different adjectives that this chapter has used to describe that Proverbs 31 woman. So that is all I have for you tonight. I really hope you appreciate this video. I hope you love this video. Make sure you share, like, and comment. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video. It could be beneficial to you, it could be beneficial to your friend, your daughter, but make sure you share. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's called Underneath the Crown. Make sure you share. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Before I leave you guys, I'm wearing one of my t-shirts, Crown's Creations. No yard, no peace. And in red, no yard, no peace. I'm so lame. But I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching the video in its entirety. If you did, but if you didn't, take the time to look at it. And tell me what you think about it. Tell me how, what do you think about my findings on this chapter? Send me an email, comment below. However you want to reach out to me, go ahead. I would love it. But again, thanks again for tuning in, and you have a blessed night.